Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a Stitch With Me video. Again, I am working on the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Pumpkin Spice pattern. And finished it will look like, I'm finding the piece of paper. Finished it will look like this. Very cute. I am stitching mine with all of the required threads. It's all DMC, but there are two classic color works that you use. And I'm stitching it on Fiberlicious 28 count Lugana in Lavender Mist. Now, today's topic is I am going to do the 20 random facts tag. I normally do not do tags. I've never done one on my channel, but I thought this would be a good way, or maybe not, but you guys are going to learn a whole lot more about me than you probably ever wanted to know. So let's just get started. Okay, random fact number 1. I actually have 21 random facts, not 20. So number 1 is, I do not like to share my food. I am a huge proponent when you go into a restaurant that if you wanted the food that I have on my plate, then you should have ordered it. Because it is a rare occasion that when I'm out with my husband, I will ask him for a bite of whatever he ordered. Because if I wanted it, I would have ordered it. It drives him crazy. It drove other boyfriends that I had crazy. They didn't understand it. No, You eat off your plate, I'll eat off my plate. Yeah. Okay, I'm threading my needle. I'm picking the color that I have to stitch with. Okay, number 2. This is a good one. I was on a quiz show on TV for kids when I was in 5th grade. It was on WJZ, which is one of our local news channels here in my state. And it was called Heads Up. And there were different little game shows. It was kind of like The Price is Right, but it was schools competing. We weren't winning money. And I vividly remember my game. It was like we were in space. It was me and 3 other kids from different schools. And we had these pretend laser guns. And what we had to do... Wait a minute, I gotta count here for a second. What we had to do was these words would come across the screen in front of us, and we had to shoot with that gun any word that was misspelled. Now, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I'm a pretty good speller. I would win like contests in school and stuff for spelling, and you know my job is editing, so yeah. What I started to notice with these other kids is that nobody would step forward and shoot a word until I did. And it started to make me mad. I remember this so vividly. And it got down to the word dictionary. And it was spelled wrong. It was spelled E-R-Y instead of A-R-Y. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to shoot it. And neither did anybody else. So when you miss a word, the game ends. So the game ended, and of course everyone was like, you didn't know how to spell dictionary? Of course I know how to spell it. And then I explained, but being in 5th grade and a kid, nobody believed me. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. And my mom, at that point, VCRs were beta. And they had it taped, and I've since tried to find a recording of it, like on the archives. I can't find a recording of it. I would die to see it. 5th grade. And I remember I wore a Jordache shirt because I never took that shirt off. Yeah. So there's that. Random fact number 3, I do laundry every single day. There are a certain amount of chores that I do in the morning when I get up. Usually I'm running the dishwasher, I'm making my husband's tea, I make both of our beds. Laundry is one of them. I do laundry every single day, and it's only my husband and I. However, he wears a uniform to work, and he wears more clothes than me. Like, sometimes there's 3 outfits in the laundry, and I'm like, what is he doing? So if I don't do laundry every day, even if I skip a day, it's like built up, packed up, I have a giant load. I like to have the smaller loads and just do it every day and keep up with it. You people with kids, I don't even know. I don't even know how you do it, because your laundry has to be ginormous. Did I miscount? No. Okay. It's kind of hard to talk and stitch at the same time. Okay, random fact number 4. I use an electric blanket all year round, every day, even in the summer. Again, my husband thinks I'm a nut for this, but we watch TV in our basement, and it's usually really cold down there all year round. I like to be warm, so I use an electric blanket. I use an electric blanket so much that I burn one up every year. I have to buy a new one every year, and it's getting to the time now where I have to get one, and usually I get it at Costco. So I'm waiting to see when they have them. They usually have a sale for like 25 bucks. But yeah, all year round. And I also bring a sweater with me all year round, wherever we go. Restaurants, movies, whatever. He's like, you're like a 90-year-old lady. Hey, at least I'm warm, right? Okay. Where's my highlighter? Really, right now? Oh, I put them away. Damn it. Okay, it's okay. I'll be able to get by without highlighting right now. Okay, random fact number 5. I have broken 1 bone in my body in my whole life so far, and that is my collarbone. And I did that when I was in 6th grade. I was at a slumber party, and I decided it was a good idea to do a handstand on a very slippery sleeping bag, and I slipped and came down right, face first, and hit my collarbone. I even heard it like break. Horrible. And it was right around Halloween, I remember, because I was supposed to be a gypsy. And for collarbones, they don't give you a cast. They give you like these backpack straps that hold the bone in place. So imagine me as a 6th grader wearing a gypsy costume for Halloween with these backpack straps on. Yeah, I was not happy. And I missed gym class for like 6 weeks and had to write a report on basketball because I was out of gym class. Yeah. Okay, random fact number 6. My husband and I grew up across the street from each other. That is a really interesting story because, yeah, as kids, from 6th grade until 12th grade, my husband and I lived across the street from each other. We hung around together in the neighborhood because, back then we played outside. We played kickball, we played softball, we walked around the neighborhood. We lived in a pretty big neighborhood. And my husband is the same person that he was back then. He was always a nice guy. I always liked him. Yeah. And how we met 20 years after high school, I was on Match.com. I had been married at 23, was married for 4 years, got divorced, was in a relationship with someone else for 6 years, and that ended. Not marriage, but that ended. And then I decided to go on Match.com. And I had one really horrible date on there. I had guys winking at me and stuff that were like my dad's age, and that surely was not happening. And I was ready to throw in the towel. I was literally ready to cancel my subscription when my husband contacted me and was like, "Did you used to live in Chesterfield?" And I was like, "Who is this?" because the picture that they send, it's like microscopic. So I went on his profile and I was like, oh my God, that's Bill. Yeah. We met up for coffee, and then that was it. That we started dating like a couple days after that, which when the people we grew up with hear about it that we're now married, they're amazed because we were not in any way, shape, or form romantic when we were, growing up together across the street. Okay, random fact number 7, and I'll go through this one quickly. I've never had a one-night stand. I am a relationship person, so I've always been in a relationship, and I've just never been the kind of person to randomly hook up with people. Okay. Okay, random fact number 8. Wait a minute, let me count down and get this leaf started. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do the loop. Oh, never mind. Let me count down and get this started here. Starting to stitch the leaf on this. I really like this color. It's the classic Colorworks Embers. Okay. Random fact number 8. I have never smoked a cigarette. I've never even tried a drug. I've never even tried pot. I was a really good kid. I didn't do much of anything, which is so surprising because I had a pretty horrible childhood. My stepfather was very abusive to my family, and yeah, me and my brother, I'm surprised I didn't turn out to be, a drug addict, mentally ill. Yeah. Okay, random fact number 9. I hate talking on the phone. I will email, text, Facebook message, any other way around that if I can. I hate the phone. I just hate it because a text or a message, I can text and then go about my day and then respond when I want to respond. If you're on the phone, you're on the phone. Yeah, I hate the phone. Okay, this is going to be a lot shorter than I thought. It's only 12 minutes and I'm already halfway through. Alright, wait a minute, Some of these might be a little bit longer stories, though, for these facts. Okay, number 10. I hate apple pie. I don't know too many people that hate apple pie. I am one of them. I love pumpkin pie. And actually, it goes for really all fruit pies. Cherry, blueberry, lemon. It's something about the fruit being like a jelly consistency, I think. Yeah, no. But pumpkin pie, give me that all day long. With lots of Cool Whip. I basically cover a piece of pumpkin pie with Cool Whip. It's almost like, do you want some pie with your Cool Whip? Yeah. Okay. This next one may get me some flack. I hate live YouTube videos. It seems to be the trend now for Flosstube and other people to do them. And the reason why I hate them is that the person that's filming it winds up talking to people who are making comments. So if you don't watch it live, you don't know what the world is going on. And usually the quality is not as good as a regular video. Yeah, I just don't like them. So I will never be recording one. You can mark my words on that. Okay. Random fact number 12. I'm trying to stretch this out to like half an hour. It's only at 15 minutes right now. Random fact number 12. I played the clarinet for 7 years in school. I played from 5th grade all the way until my senior year of high school. I loved it. I was in the marching band in high school. I was also an all-county band all 4 years. We got to do these big productions, and I remember when I was a senior in high school, I got chickenpox. That was fun. Yeah. Oh, and little side note, that was the year I read It. When I had chickenpox, I was home from school for like 2 weeks. And I read the book It. And I think my husband and I are going to go this weekend to the drive-in to see it, because I have been wanting to see the remake of it now. But anyway, yeah, senior year of high school, got chickenpox, and not only got chickenpox during tryouts for all county band, because you had to try out every year. Now, normally, all the other years, I was like first or second chair. First chair is the best that you can get in this section. Even though I could not try out, because I had been in all those previous years, they still let me be in the band, all county band, but I was last chair, because obviously, I mean, I couldn't try out and it wouldn't have been fair to the other people. So I was just glad to still be able to participate in it. But yeah, chickenpox at, 17. God. I never had anything so horrible, besides, my breast cancer, but still, I mean, yeah, it was hideous. Okay. Random fact number 13, and you're gonna love this one. I got thrown out of a bar when I was 23. Now, how I am in my videos is how I am in real life. But if you know me in real life, I'm pretty reserved. I am responsible. I mean, I do pretty much what I'm supposed to. I'm not someone who gets thrown out of bars. What was happening was I was dating at this time my first husband. He used to race cars with a friend of his on Friday night. I wasn't working at home then. I worked at a law firm as a receptionist. I had this friend that was about 15 years older than me. So imagine that. I'm 23 and she's almost 40. She liked to go out. So we used to go to Applebee's during happy hour every Friday. She worked in a city near I used to work in Columbia. I used to work about 45 minutes away from my house. She worked in the other direction, so we'd meet at an Applebee's in the middle. Well, you get to see the same people that go to happy hour. And we would talk to this group of guys, harmless, They knew I had a boyfriend and all that. Like I said, I wasn't married yet. Well, people get drinking and they get stupid. Not me. I was very responsible. I didn't drink very much when we went out because I had to drive home. There was a guy there that apparently must have liked me. He grabbed my butt. And I didn't take really kindly to that. So, and I wasn't the kind of person then to like open my mouth, even though I should have been like, what the F do you think you're doing? So what do? I go tell my friend. What does she do? She confronts him. And when she confronts him, they get in this big, huge fight. He grabs her by the throat, pushes her up on the bar, and is like choking her. I'm not exaggerating. So of course the bartender is like, all 4 of you are out of here. Because his friend was trying to pull him off of my friend. Like, I'm sorry, you don't lay your hands on a woman. First of all, he shouldn't have grabbed my butt, right? No. But yeah, got thrown out. And because she had been drinking, I had to drive her home. Because in the parking lot, like I said, all 4 of us were thrown out. So in the parking lot, they're still yelling at each other, you know, calling each other names and things. And I'm like, please guys, let's just shut up and just, we were never allowed back in there. Applebee's. Are you kidding? Yeah. Okay, so there was that. Random fact number 14. I have 3 tattoos, and I could not remember if I ever talked about that in a previous video. They are not visible. Obviously, you guys have never seen them in my videos. I have a flower vine on my right leg. It has little leaves and ladybugs on it. That was my first one. That tattoo did not hurt, because if that would have hurt, I probably wouldn't have gotten the other 2. The second one I got was what they like to call a tramp stamp. It's on my lower back, and it is butterfly bug wings. Really pretty. That one hurt like hell. Hurt really bad. But it's still, I still wanted to come back and get another one. So I have an Amy Brown fairy on my upper back under my left shoulder. So yeah, when I wear normal clothes, when I wear a bathing suit, you can almost see every single tattoo I have. But in normal everyday wear, no one sees them. Now I told my husband at the beginning of 2018, when my chemo is over, I can get my port out immediately, according to my oncologist, which you can best believe I'm going to be scheduling that appointment like for the beginning of January. When I get that out and I get healed from all that and everything, I want to get the breast cancer ribbon tattooed on my scar, or over my scar, on my right breast where I had the cancer. If they can do it. Like, I don't know, like the skin there, it's pretty well healed and it looks okay. I just don't, I want the tattoo to look good and I don't want it to be messed up. So I'll have to find someone that's pretty good. But yeah, I want to get the breast cancer ribbon there. And that's probably the last tattoo that I'll ever get. My husband and I have wanted to get one that's like, oh God, I pulled the thread through. We kind of wanted to get one that was sort of matching, but I haven't been able to figure out what one, because he has a couple tattoos also. And believe it or not, and luckily I don't see this tattoo very much, he has his second wife's tribal symbol or some kind of symbol tattooed on the back of his neck. Like I said, luckily it doesn't say her name or anything like that, but yeah. So luckily I don't see the back of his neck very much, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, really right now? That's why I would never get someone's name tattooed on my body. No. No, no, no. So yeah, 3 tattoos. Random fact number 15. I get a massage every 2 weeks, and I have for the past 12 years. I consider it like a doctor appointment. When people that don't know me hear that I get a massage, they're like, ooh, fancy. No, idiot. It keeps me working. It keeps my muscles from me not being in constant pain from working on the computer so much. So yeah. And I have a fantastic therapist that I go to. So every 2 weeks, an hour massage, full body. Complete necessity. Okay, random fact number 16. And this was brought to light when we were on our Ocean City trip a couple weeks ago. I have never flown a kite. There is a store called the Kite Loft that was a few doors down from our hotel. Beautiful store. And they always put kites out, you know, anchor them to the ground on the beach and have them flying. And my husband and I were on the beach and talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I've never flown a kite. And he was like, what? He's like, oh, we have to do that with you. So we're going to do that at some point. He said, you have to feel it in your hands, you know. You got to. Okay. So there's that one. Now the next one is definitely going to be a longer story. I think I have talked about this on my videos in passing. Wait a minute, I'm counting here. I did not meet my real father until I was 32 years old. I always knew that I had my real father out there, and I thanked God every single day, even though the person my mom was married to for the first 18 years of my life adopted me. My real father gave up parental rights when I was born. My mom had me when she was 19. My father was only 17. When she got pregnant, he was scared, ran, you know. And then she met my stepfather. And according to them, right before I was born, or right when I was born, my real father decided he wanted my mother back. But by then it was too late. She was already with my stepfather. So my real father, thinking he was doing the right thing, just signed over parental rights to my stepfather. And like I said in the earlier fact, my stepfather was a horrible man. He had something wrong inside of him. He was a broken individual. I have a brother that is his natural child, and he always treated him differently than he treated me. He didn't treat him great either. They have no relationship today. I haven't seen my then stepfather in about 15 or 20 years. You know, I would get punished if I didn't have the trash emptied in my room. I would get punished if I left like a soda can on an end table. And I never forgot this one either. You know, just like I'm an avid reader now, I read all the time as a kid. It was a way for me to escape all of that stuff that went on a daily basis at my household. We had this really like fancy, nice furniture in our living room that only my stepfather's parents were allowed to sit in when they came over to visit. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Well, the one chair was by the window and it was perfect light, so I would sit in that chair and I would read. And then when I saw my stepfather pull up, I would just get up out of the chair and go to my room. Well, this one time, I must have been really engrossed in my book, and he walked in the front door and I was sitting in that chair. Because he caught me sitting in that chair, I couldn't go out and see my boyfriend that night. And not only that, he was the kind of person that, you know, then there were no cell phones and stuff like that. You had to call someone on a landline. He stood there while I called my boyfriend and said that I could not come out. And, you know, I didn't make any bones about how he was, meaning I said flat out to my boyfriend, I can't come out tonight because I was caught sitting in the chair in the living room reading. When you say that to people, it sounds ridiculous. Like when I tell my husband some of the stories that happened when I was a kid, I think he thinks I'm exaggerating or making it up. I can't make that stuff up. Yeah, how do you punish someone for sitting in a chair reading? You know, like I said, I wasn't a bad kid. My brother wasn't a bad kid. We didn't do stuff. We didn't talk back. We didn't sneak out. We didn't drink or do drugs or none of that stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just, yeah. Anyway, I got way off track there. So my mom had always told me that my real father was out there, but I just never thought I would meet him. Well, when I was 32, my mom saw an obituary in the newspaper for my real father's mother, and it prompted her to write him. Now, I was mad at my mother for this because she didn't tell me she was writing him and saying like I wanted to meet him. I never voiced that to her. So once I got over the initial like anger at her for that, my father's then wife, and still his wife, so my stepmother, wrote my mom a letter, gave my real father's phone number, address, all that. We started out by talking on the phone, you know, just getting to know each other, because we didn't know each other. I was 32 years old. He missed all of the important things in my life. Graduation from high school, from college, driving, you know, me getting married to my first husband, all that kind of stuff. And we talked on the phone for a few months. And then I finally said, you know what, let's meet. So it was in January of, I want to say 2008, 2006. And we had talked on the phone so much that I really wasn't nervous about going to meet him in person, but it was really emotional to finally see him, because I look like him. We have a lot in common. Our mannerisms and the things that we do and say are similar. And my father and I have a great relationship now. You have to forgive people. Like, you know, he had no clue, and I made no bones about telling him about my childhood, what happened. He had no idea all of that had gone on. So, yeah, we have a great relationship. I don't get to see him as much as I would like, because, you know, since I didn't know him for the first 32 years of my life, it's never going to be enough time. You know, he is 60 years old now. But my stepmother is wonderful. Really like her. Yeah, it's been really, really great getting to know my dad and spending time with him and things like that. So I am very thankful that I got to meet him and to see, you know, the other half of where I came from. And, you know, you can't help but think, how different would my life be right now if I had had him in my life the entire time? Because I'm guessing, obviously, that my stepfather wouldn't have been as abusive and everything as he was if my real father would have been in the picture, because I would have been like, I'm coming to live with you. I need to get out of that situation. I mean, you wouldn't let your kids be abused. You know, my mother, we have not, you know, we're close now. We're not like best friends, but I talk to her a couple times a week. We do things together. You know, I've also had to forgive her, you know, for keeping us in that situation. But as an adult now, where are you going to go with 2 kids? Now, my grandparents would have helped her, but I don't know. And then she was, you know, fighting the battle with him so much, my stepfather, that, you know, there was just nothing left for us kids, because, you know, I like to say my brother and I raised ourselves. Besides my grandparents. If my grandparents, trust me, they saved my life. Like, if they wouldn't have been in my life, I don't know how I would have turned out. We were over there every weekend. My grandfather was the one that took me out driving when I was learning to drive, and would take me to band practice, and just all kinds of stuff that they did. And like I said, just a saving grace. But yeah, you know, my mom was fighting that battle with him, and man, is it hard to be an adult. Not to, you know, and then to have that to deal with, I can't even imagine. So the kind of mother that my mom is to my 12-year-old sister is not the kind of mother that she was to me and my brother. But like I said, you have to forgive and you have to move on. So yeah, I like to think I've moved on from that. Okay, I knew that would be a long story. Okay, but we're at random fact 18, which is, I hate summer. You guys probably know that. I think I've made that known in a couple videos. And I don't own a pair of shorts. Not one. I don't wear shorts. I wear pants all year round. The closest I get to shorts is capris. And really, I like wearing like the workout spandex capris because they're just stretchy and comfortable. Yeah, hate summer. I just count down the days until fall. And I even like winter. I don't like 10 feet of snow, but I do not mind cold weather because I can always put on clothes to get warm. When you're hot, you can be naked standing outside at 100 degrees and you're still hot. Okay, random fact 19. My favorite movie, and I've seen a lot of movies, but this is hands down my favorite movie. Shawshank Redemption, starring Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. I must have seen that movie at least 50 times. It's a long movie too. Whenever it comes on TV, I watch it. I've watched it many times when it was on Netflix, Amazon Prime. Love it. Just love it, love it, love it. And why do I love it? Because Tim Robbins' character, the patience he has over the 19 years he is in prison, and then he finally just gets out and gets one over on the warden. I mean, he was wrongly convicted if you haven't seen the movie. Just his patience and perseverance, and it paid off. I just love that movie. The end, the last scene is my favorite part of the whole movie. But I won't spoil that for you if you have not seen it. Okay. Random fact number 20. And I finished that leaf. How about that? What's a star? It's got to be white. Yeah. Random fact number 20. I once won $102 on a radio station. And it was my first time calling in, which was amazing. I was on the way to buy Christmas wrapping paper one day during the week. And I had the radio on, and they were like, be the 102nd caller, and you'll win $102. And then you'll be entered in a chance to win free mortgage for an entire year. And at that time, I was married to my first husband, so we had a mortgage. So I called, thinking, yeah, right, I'm not, going to win that. And I was. I was a 102nd caller. So I won $102, and then I was entered in their little contest to win free mortgage for a year, but I did not win that. That would have been supremely awesome, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay, the last fact, which is random fact number 21. I used to paint ceramics when I was in college. And I sold them at craft shows. Craft shows were really, really big then. And I loved painting ceramics. I've always done some kind of craft my whole life, just about. But I was really, really into that. And yeah, I would go around to craft shows on the weekends and sell my pieces. Really enjoyed it. And I sold a lot. And then those kinds of stores went out of business a couple years after that, so that stopped. But yeah, we're about at 38 minutes. Not bad for a Stitch With Me video, huh? I got done one leaf. Hope you guys stitched along with me and enjoyed hearing more about me. I'm sure you've learned much more than you thought you would. But that's it for me today, guys. As always, thank you for watching and subscribing. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.